It was a bitterly cold night. The wind howled through the empty streets, making the city feel lonelier than ever. Maria, wrapped in a thin, tattered scarf, shivered as she walked. Her stomach groaned with hunger, but her heart ached even more. Once, she had a warm home and a loving family. But after losing her job and her husband to an accident, life spiraled out of control. Now, she wandered the streets, hoping for a miracle, or maybe just a warm meal. Maria stopped outside a brightly lit restaurant. Through the window, she saw families laughing, plates filled with food she could only dream of tasting. Swallowing her pride, she stepped inside, her voice trembling. "Excuse me, do you have any leftover food? I haven't eaten in days." The waiter glanced at her with pity, but before he could respond, a voice from the back interrupted. "No leftovers. Please leave." The words stung, but Maria turned to go, too tired to argue. As Maria stepped outside, a man approached her. He was well dressed, his overcoat shielding him from the cold. He had watched the scene unfold. "Wait," he said softly. "Please, come with me." Maria hesitated. People didn't stop for her anymore. But something about his voice felt different, kind, sincere. Against her better judgment, she followed him down the street. They entered a quieter, cozier diner. The man gestured for her to sit as he ordered 2 full meals. Maria's hands shook as she held the warm cup of tea. It felt surreal. After days of cold, hunger, and rejection, this felt like a dream. "Why are you helping me?" she asked softly. The man smiled. "Because once, someone helped me when I was lost, too." As they ate, the man shared his story. His name was Daniel. Years ago, he had been homeless after his business failed. One stranger gave him a job and a second chance. "I promised myself I'd pay it forward one day," he said. Maria listened, her eyes welling up. For the first time in months, she felt seen, human again. When they finished, Daniel reached into his pocket and handed her a card. "I own a small cafe nearby. If you're willing to work, I could use someone with heart like yours." Maria stared at the card, speechless. Was this really happening? A chance, a real chance, to rebuild her life. The next morning, Maria showed up at the cafe. Daniel greeted her warmly, introducing her to the staff. It wasn't just a job, it was a community. People treated her with kindness and respect. Day by day, she regained her confidence. Her laughter, once buried under pain, returned. Weeks turned into months. Maria saved enough to rent a small apartment. But she didn't stop there. Remembering the pain of the streets, she started a small initiative, offering free meals to anyone who asked for leftovers. The cafe became known not just for good coffee, but for its compassion. One day, a young man walked in, his clothes worn and his eyes hollow. He asked the same question Maria once had: "Do you have any leftovers?" Maria smiled warmly and sat him down. "We have more than leftovers. You're safe here." In that moment, she realized she wasn't just surviving anymore, she was healing, and helping others heal too. Maria often thought back to that cold night, to Daniel's act of kindness. One meal, one stranger's compassion, it had reshaped her entire life. Sometimes, she wondered what would have happened if he hadn't stopped to help her. But she knew one thing for sure: because of him, she had found hope again. And now, she passed that hope forward every single day.